Hi YouTube, this is just going to be a short video basically explaining the matchups for Briar Jungle from my experience as an OTP jungler with 1.5 million mastery on Briar. Hope you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe and check out my Twitch channel, I'm live every day. Momo, first of all, is a champ that you have to have. You realise that if you go into him with the wrong build, I feel like you can't win very well against him. I'd definitely recommend something like Bork or not Black Cleaver, Titanic. But the thing is, with his CC, it makes it really hard to do trades single-handedly against him. You do need teammates with you. So I'd definitely say you would need knowledge against him. I wouldn't say he's ban-worthy. He can be difficult. But I wouldn't say it's very skill-based. You kind of have to rely just solely on having another teammate with you to fight. If you just try to 1v1 him, you would have to really sidestep his abilities, which can be difficult on Briar. So, to be fair, I'm going to put in skill-based. Brand Jungle. Honestly, I haven't seen a lot of Briar Jungles in the past. When I have, he's not been a very difficult person to kill. He's quite easy to lock down and kill. So I'd say no issues mainly. Cho'Gath Jungle, Camille Jungle I never see, so I'm not going to include that. Cho'Gath Jungle I don't really see either, to be fair. But I will put it in anyway. If he Qs you, WEs you, he shouldn't have enough damage to ult you. But I'd say, I don't know. He can be difficult at times depending on your build. I'd say you need a little bit of knowledge. Darius Jungle, there's no way you win against him in jungle. Well, he doesn't really get played jungle anymore, so I'm not going to include him. You know, I'll do the same for Cho'Gath because he's not very picked. Dinah Jungle is free. You don't have to worry about her. As long as you have a lead, it's free. You never have to worry about any sort of trades or whatever. You can just all-in her and kill her. She doesn't have the damage to kill you, you have the sustain. Mundo is skill-based. I'd say if you buy Bork, it's a lot easier to kill him, but overall you need to make sure make sure he's missing his Qs. Echo Jungle is really difficult. I'd also say that he requires skill. You need to try and bait out his ult in some way, shape, or form. His ultimate can cancel your W, obviously. So, yeah, we have issues with that. Right. Elise, honestly, I would probably it's almost ban worthy. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a Mumu and Mundo down because they're a little easier. Honestly, Elise is one of those champs that also, again, is just skill based. If you can somehow dodge her all of her skill shots and lock her down before she uses her ult, you can win against her. But overall, it's it's difficult, but it's winnable. Same could be said about Eve, but Eve is a little easier to kill, I'd say. Only the fact that she's trying to rely on one-shotting you, but normally you have enough sustain to not get one-shot, and one perfectly set up E, it's over for her. Fiddlesticks hasn't really got any issues. Little issues. Yeah, let me change that to little issues. Limited. Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, that's good for Fiddle. He has his Q. I mean, his W doesn't really do a lot compared to you. His E is just a silence that doesn't really do a lot to you. Gregor's Jungle, honestly, he's not really played that often. Yeah, he's one of those champs where it's just pretty bog standard kit. He's not going to one-shot you. Yeah. Graves, a good Graves player, can be hard. But overall, you can just walk at him and you should just win that. Especially if you go Titanic or Eclipse. Our first ban would be Gwen. I'd say Gwen is pretty much unplayable. Her W cancels your ultimate and your W. Her just overall, you know, kit just completely counters you if you're running at her. I can't really say more about that. It's just standard. Why has it got the old Hecarim one? That's quite funny. Honestly, I'd say... See, every time I go against a Hecarim, it's always a Smurf. He doesn't have a lot of issues. You don't have a lot of issues against Hecarim. But I'd say... You need to have knowledge to know go against him. He's pretty free, I'd say. I'd say Ivan... A good Ivan, you do need knowledge of how to win against these guys. Especially with the roots and daisies, I mean, it can be difficult at times. Honestly, Jarvan, he's really strong, but he's honestly not that bad. I'm trying to think. Jarvan's like a champ that's just... He can come at you and you have a lot of damage. But if he ults you, you can E him into his ult, which kind of just ruins it for him. His knock-up's annoying. Yeah. Jack's Jungle is not very played, but if it was, I'd put it in ban. He just his W and, you know, stun is just completely counters you completely. Karthus is 3. Never have any issues with Karthus. Kayn is... See, a good Kayn isn't the hardest to kill, but can be annoying. Honestly, if he ults you at the right time, you can die quite quickly. But overall, I'd say you just need to have knowledge against him. I wouldn't say he's difficult. Whereas K6, I'd definitely say is very much skill based. Solo 1v1ing him is not recommended, obviously, for, you know, obvious reasons. But in scenarios where he's with your team, it's not too bad. Going for objectives, he only has limited base sort of like damage. Honestly, Kindred is just annoying. I'd say, yeah, skill based. You have to really sort of like not run at her, because if she plays it correctly, she can just shut you down, kite you. Same could be said a lot about Lee Sin. Apart from the kiting part, obviously. One issue I'd say about Lee Sin is that a lot of the time you don't win trades against him because he's so tanky sometimes. Lilia Jungle's free. All you have to do is just run at her. She can sleep you, E you, W. You're pretty much always gonna stay alive. Oh, I don't have a lot of issues. Master Yi is the perfect low elo ban. I'd say if you're low elo right now, Iron bronze, silver, gold, you know, the Elo's Master Yi's at. I don't know how good the Master Yi's would be. They're normally probably not that good, but I feel like a good Master Yi at that Elo, in that Elo, if they know how to play against Briar, there's no counterplay. I'd say first of all you have to realise that he can hold his Q, breaking your W. It's quite easy to dodge your E with Briar. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely a ban. Higher Elo, not so much of a Chinu. Don't see enough of Morgana Jungle or Malphite or Nautilus. Nidalee, limited issues. Good Nidalee. Difficult sometimes. But overall, most Nidalees I've gone against aren't great. Nocturne's a ban. Nocturne is one of those champs where you just cannot play against. I mean, for instance, you know, his fear, his you know, spell shield, his ultimate, it's completely counterintuitive to your kit. Nunu's free. I mean, pretty much the easiest matchup ever for Briar. I don't think there's a single issue fighting Nunu. You counter him completely. If you lose that, you should probably quit the game. Go to a different champ. Olaf Jungle I don't see enough of. Pantheon is... You don't... It's very difficult to win that. It's very difficult. Pantheon, I mean, self-explanatory. Point and click, you know, stun, damage, damage immunity, and whatnot. He just overall is nasty to kill. Same could be said about Poppy as well. I mean, she's just the anti-dash jump. Try and land on her, it's difficult to win. She's just too tanky, she does too much damage, so CC is strong. I wouldn't ban her, but because she's not popular enough, but yeah. See, Rammus is just... Rammus is not... I don't know. Rammus is... He has his issues himself. He's not a very strong champ. But I wouldn't say he's ban-worthy. Don't get me wrong, he's terrible to go against it with Briar. But overall, his kit's pretty weak. And especially in low elo, a lot of people don't know how to play him properly. So you could quite easily get away with a win against him. Rek'Sai Jungle. I'm trying to think of the last time I played against Rek'Sai. Honestly, I haven't gone against a Rek'Sai in so long. I'm trying to remember how her kit works. I'm going to put this to reasonable. Rek'Sai's kit is basic. But I think the knockups and the damage she does can be a bit annoying against Briar. But overall, she shouldn't be too much of an issue. I think from my experience with Rengar, I've never gone against a good Rengar. So I put it in free. But I'd say if you went against a good Rengar, he could quite easily go up the list. But overall, your kit just completely counters him. He can't one-shot you most of the time, especially if he's not fed. Rumble Jungle I don't see enough of, neither do I see Kiana. Sejuani is very difficult. Damage, CC, tankiness. She's just like one of those champs in the top tier list. It's just very hard to win against. Set Jungle I don't see enough of. Shaco is... Honestly, limited issues with Shaco Jungle. You need knowledge for him. Actually, I put it in reasonable because some people don't fully understand Briar. But it's one of those champs where it's like yeah, you need to know how to counter his clone. For example, if you wanted to know which one's real, before he ults and gets his clone, you R him, and your R will follow the real one. I hate Shyvana sometimes because of her damage output. She's much of a farmer, though. She has to farm a lot, but can have her difficulties sometimes. It's quite easy to kill her sometimes, though, if she's, not out of her ult form. Skarner is... I don't see Skarner enough anymore. I'm not gonna... Silas Jungle's free. Silas Jungle is not really played anymore either, but, like, his whole kit is basically the same as yours, but just weaker. In a sense. Talia Jungle is reasonable. You have to catch her out, simply. Talon Jungle is very difficult. His ultimate, his escape routes, all that sort of stuff is difficult to win against. Trundle's a ban. He just fully counters you in his kit. 1v1 wise, you just don't win against him. Especially a good Trundle. Urdia, honestly, is difficult. I don't know why we have the old Urdia logo. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, to this day, I still don't know how Urdia works. But, in general, his kit is very much just meh against you. He, his stuns, his true damage, not true damage, max HP damage is, yeah. If there were a champ to I would ban any more than Nocturne, it would be Viego. This champ is the definition of, like, the most, I wouldn't say boosted, but, like, over-tuned, disgusting champ to go against Briar. He has invisibility, a stun, stupid amounts of damage. He builds full crit, nearly almost full crit, and he can do so much damage, and he's tanky. His ult cancels your W and your R. I think your R as well. He literally is the worst pick for Briar, I'd say. No, quite literally. Same could be said about Vi. Point and click CCs is just disgusting against Briar. I couldn't really think of anything worse for Briar than CC. And obviously these champ at the top have either CC or something that can break her W. Obviously Briar revolves around her W. So I'd say, especially these champs in the top tier, you would want to ban. I'd say less these two at the end, because you don't see them as much. Yeah. Honestly, Bear is a Bear. I don't know. Where would I put Bear in this? Difficult, I'd say. He's almost ban-worthy. But I think... Honestly, no, you don't even win trades in them. With them, no, I'd say ban-worthy. He just is, like, the overall, like, the best sort of jungler in terms of, like, damage, CC. He just stat checks you simply. Warwick is a good Warwick is basically unwinnable either. But is he ban-worthy? I put Warwick at the top tier. I wouldn't ban him. Good Warwick is really difficult. There are some issues with it though. Wukong had ban as well. Ban, literally his passive is one of the worst ones for Briar. He gains more armor, and then I think it was max health or something through the fight. His Q, his invisibility, his clone, it's awful for Briar. Jin Zhao is reasonable, I'd say. He's difficulty-wise not hard to beat, not easy to beat. He does damage. You just have to make sure that you kite him. Zac. Limited issues. He's fine. I think with Zac, you're very much just basing off the fact that he can CC you and then just do reasonable bad damage, but he can't kill you in one combo. He needs his team to be around him. But yeah, I'd say overall, this is the tier list for matchups in Briar Jungle. Overall, I'd say if you want to climb low elo wise, either ban Nocturne, Master Yi, or Volibear, because those are played mostly in low elo. If you were in higher elo, I don't know. I mean, obviously Emerald and Plat aren't really high elo, but you know, higher elo where you see more prevalent higher elo junglers, I'd ban these first three. I'd say in this order, I'd say number 1, ban Viego. He's one of the most picked junglers in the game. He's awful. Same with Wukong, Vi. But yeah, that's my tier list. If you've gotten to this part of the video, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below if I can improve anything for my videos. Cheers, guys.